Let's go back to our earlier story on the concerns raised about the implementation of the 2024-2025 budget by the House of Representatives members. We have now reconnected with Mr. Akin Fatunke, Chartered Accountant, for his thoughts on the implications of this delay. Thank you very much for being here. The complaint raised by Abubakar Pichi, Chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation, appears germane because performance seems to have fallen short of expectation despite the president being granted 2 extensions to give room for better budgetary performance. What's really the issue?
The issue is worry. I'm equally as worried. And if you do the C page, that is, we can see through the shroud of why 2 extensions will have been granted, and we, in the words of Mr. Wale Edun, hopefully we should examine that and see whether we can believe it or not. The 2024 budget has been implemented up to about 70%, 80%. How do we know this is true? For me, as an accountant and as a realist, I look at 2 indices. The budget implementation report has not come to light. I think the last we saw was the 3rd quarter of, the one that we saw was the one that was done for the 3rd quarter of last year, looking at the previous budget. And if that has not happened, therefore means there are challenges. And I always say something. There is no hard and fast rule. If there are challenges, own up to those challenges. Don't hide anything. Let us know what those challenges will be. And it becomes much more germane. The House of Representatives are getting worried. Nigerians are getting worried. Is it that we have not prioritized what we should prioritize? Have we met our revenue target according to Mr. President? Yet, we still have to, the following day, the 3rd day, still have to borrow for critical infrastructures. Are we basing so much on critical infrastructure? We can go on and on. There are so many questions that requires a lot of answer. For 2 budgets to be running concurrently, I agree with Tanimu, the economic advisor to the presidency. It is not as if you are breaking any law, but it therefore tells you, as we say in the language of economics, that we may be teaming and leading. We may be shifting from here to there, or we might be looking at what we call the assumptions, the basic assumptions, that we had for a robust budget. One of them, of course, being the fact that we're going to be able to tame inflation. We haven't tamed inflation as much as we want. We're able to put some kind of lid to the insecurity that will allow farmers to grow more. And now with the climate change that we now have, that may be affecting farm produce, apart from security issues. And of course, the volatility that we found in the foreign exchange, now stabilizing, no doubt about that. But all this while, this might be reasons why there will, we are not implementing as much as we should implement. Right. I mean, I, as a leader, will raise my hand and say, these are the assumptions I made. These are assumptions are not forthcoming. I have to be thinking of a revision and then make it very open.
All right, let's talk about one thing that came up repeatedly, and that's the comments that the 2024 budget implementation, which remains a priority of the federal government at the moment, is being stalled by procurement processes. What exactly are the gaps from approval to release of funds to execution that comes up every time we talk about the budget? What are the issues?
Integrated governance looks at all issues from the gates to the implementation. I honestly I'm just wondering what we mean by procurement challenges. What are these procurement challenges that have not been inbuilt in the same government? If certain rules and regulations is preventing the other rules of implementation to come, it should be brought in the open, and that is the work of the coordinating minister. We're crying out loud. And so basically, the way it goes is that we have a budget process, the plans, the appropriation has been given. The Federal Ministry of Finance coordinates from the policy side, again, perhaps from the fiduciary and from the taxation, which has been showing a lot of improvement, and then decides that these are going to be some of the priorities. Now, are those priorities gone into infrastructures in building roads at the detriment of others? It's yet to be seen. It's when we see the budget implementation report. But you see that the economy is crying at all sides. People are unhappy, they want to go on strike. Yes, I know the minimum wage is being implemented at the public level, but what about the states? Some states are doing, some states are saying they're going to do a bit more, what have you. So everything seems to be crying. My point is that we need more opacity, we need more transparency, we need to be able to tell ourselves the truth and not just play on to the gallery. Yeah. I recognize, I must be straight as an economist, that we had a robust budget we need to do, but if you look at the revenue generation streams that we had put together, first of all, the size of the budget, from 28.7 trillion in 2024 to 54.9 billion, that is big. But Indeed. How then do you begin to now look at your revenue generation to see how that is going to go?
I mean, Mr. Fatunke, as it stands now, Nigerians don't know what the budget implementation report says. We only know what we're being told basically at the moment, which is unfortunate. Let's see what happens in the coming days as regards revealing the exact nature of expenditure and performance with the 2024 budget. We thank you very much for speaking with us.